All right, episode 3. Time to start prepping this thing for polishing. So we'll combine this with a little bit of pre-modification and taping for polishing. So what I'm first going to do, I'm going to take the grills off. I want to see about getting the BMW badge off because I'm going to replace this. This one's a little jacked up looking. So we're going to work on getting these off. Sometimes you can just pull, but I don't know about the M5, so I'm going to see about how to do this here. So I'm going to pull all these pieces off so that I can access this area, reach down inside. Plus that'll show me what I need to do with this emblem here. Probably a T30. So I haven't wiped the car down yet either. It sat outside for 2 days. And shoot, it's Friday. When did I do the decon? I think I did the decon on Tuesday. So I've been messing around with the new Meguiar's products and podcasts and all kinds of stuff here the last day. The engine bay looks good, as you can see. Nice and satin. And then now we got to make the rest of the car look good. Got a lot of work to do on this thing, and I suspect this is going to take me a couple of weeks to get this thing done. I got a lot of parts to do, a lot of individual pieces to put on, of course correcting the paint. I'm going to do one little step at a time, kind of work my way through it, and try to enjoy the process as much as possible rather than hating life. I'm going to have to fumble through the M5 a little bit more because I've never owned one of these, so I've never taken one of these apart. But yeah, we've been working all week on getting the engine bay package launched. So I hope I can just reach up in here. Another one. But this car is night vision, so I've got to take the grills off. Yeah, man, this has been a long week, and I've been sick as a dog, so I haven't been as efficient as I normally am. Good news is on Wednesday, I should be able to start talking normally because I get my tooth. So I think I can start to pop this out. Be careful not to pull too hard. I almost want to just break this off. These suckers are not budging. Well, there's no holes, so this is just held on by two-sided tape. All right, how the heck am I going to do this without having to take the whole bumper off? Just have to kind of get started. There we go. I wonder how many sets of kidney grills I've removed in my life. Seems like a lot. So I'm going to take these off and leave them off to make it easier to polish. So I'm just pulling up on these. I'm pressing on the tabs. So I'm pressing on these tabs to get it out. So there's grill number 1. So now I can reach through here. Get this started. I think I can just pull the grill most of the way out and then work on the night vision stuff afterward. Good part is, as long as I don't mess with the bumper, I don't particularly care about the grill. There we go. So now, gotta get this assembly out. There we go. There's our grill. be really easy to put back together when it's time. I'm actually gonna screw this back down. I'm gonna wipe this out first. I'm gonna wipe this off. We'll screw this back down so that when we're polishing, we have a good solid surface to deal with. Bit of eraser. So this will hold us down in place while we're polishing. Actually, I can just put this back together because the grills I'll just be able to pop back in place. Yes, there's no reason to keep this out. I want to put the grills on right now to see what it looks like. It looks so much better. Less grandpa. I'm gonna have to go home, get some fishing line to pull this off. This big old car makes me nervous on this lift. A lot different than having my little baby cars on here. All right, there we go. So let me give you a little closer look of the engine bay. Show you what to do in here. So the only thing that I did here was to wipe it down. So you can see and I just surface wipe down. Like, you know, like certain areas like this right here, you'll get a little bit of like pooling of the hyper dressing, but in general, you put the hyper dressing on, wipe it off, or leave it on, walk away, and you know, maybe a week later just come in, or a couple of days later come in and just do a superficial wipe just for any of the little spots that may have a little bit of high areas, but it looks pretty darn good to me. All right, so let's pull this thing off. I don't know which way it goes. Is it this way or this way? I don't know which way, but I'm just sticking my fingers in there hoping I get it right. Generally pull one way or the other. See, I want the image to look like this. It doesn't look like that.
It looks bad. It's too blue.
This is way better. Look at this. This is purple. That's purple. Look at the wall. You're colorblind. That looks gray. That's the color of this room right now, and this is purple. This is why I hate this camera. So maybe you got the wrong colors in your brain.
Maybe I have like one thing going another way.
See, I want it to look like that.
It looks a little too blue though.
Well, I like it better. There's blue in here. That's the way I like it. Blue is always better than orange and purple. Which way does this sucker go? I think we're just gonna let it rip on this sucker. There we go. Boom. Done. I don't know if I can get this to let go without breaking it. Come on. It's over the tab. So now it should just come off. There we go. All right, so there we go. So you get the idea. These little tabs have to be pushed down. So we got this open, so when I can just take the new one, just pop it back in place. So we'll get nice clean polishing all the way up to the edge there. And so the one I'm putting in is, so you can see the difference there. Black with lightly tinted. It looks a little better. That versus that. Okay, do the other side. All right, so this side should come off the same. Get your fingers under there. Once you get it started, It's always so easy when you know how to do it. The first one's always the gnarly one. I'm telling you, this aviation tool from my buddy Derek from Sound in Motion in Boston sent me one of these. This thing is amazing. It's like your fingernail, only it's not your fingernail. Gosh. Okay, those are off. So let's lift the car up and get these side markers out. All right, since I'm gonna have to take the wheels off anyway, let me think about this. Yeah, I'll just keep the car on the lift the whole time. So I might as well take these off. That way I can get to the calipers, get everything set up since I need to get under here anyway. So, since these are carbon ceramics, we want to make sure that we don't let anything hit it and chip it. So, wheel guides are more important on these, I think, than any steel brake. Now these are M14 by 1.5, I believe, instead of M12 by 1.25. So these require, the M5s require a different thread type than an M3. And I have wheel studs for this car, for the black wheel. I'm gonna order some. I gotta order some of those weighted BMW center caps. So now this allows me to pull it out, controlled, so I don't mess anything up. So I think I just need to take these two off. It's just a little 8mm. Be taking this whole darn car apart, piece by piece, putting it back together. I don't think I've ever done a full paint correction while doing all the modifications at the same time. Well, nah, I guess I have. But not quite to this level. I think we'll just push this thing out. So I don't really know what I'm doing with all this stuff. I'm just kind of winging it. I don't think there are any screws on that thing. I think it's just glued on there. Yep. So there we go. Yeah, there's just 3M tape. Figures. It has to stick to the darn bumper. Oh yeah, real easy, Bryce. It's coming off real easily.
I'm guessing it's not.
Real blood fingers.
Oh, it's sharp plastic.
Well, they're just not easy to reach in there. I need your baby hands, Bryce. Ouch. I need to do this early when when I got energy, not now when I'm ready to punch my fist through the wall. Should never do. That's a tip from Maddie to you. Never do modifications at like 3:30 p.m. You want to do them early. Start at 8, quit at noon, come back the next day. Dang it. Maybe the other side I'll get lucky. Maybe I should heat up the other side. Everybody's always gonna be yelling at me for not using the heat gun. I'm just too impatient for that. So if you don't get this off of here, then there's gonna be a gap. I wonder if I should just put these in. I think I should. Yeah, I think on this, I'm gonna just put these. No, I'm gonna wait. Don't get impatient. Dang it. Okay, that's the easy side. Now comes the hard side. Good thing I didn't cut my fingernails today. I was going to. Almost got it. The other side I'm gonna heat up. So that hopefully this comes off with the reflector. There we go. Clean, 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 all the way around. Let's go to the other side. All right, let's do what you all love me to do, which is to pull the M5 badge off. I don't have any fishing line here. I'm gonna try to get this off without that. I don't think that's gonna happen. For those of you that are smarter than me, you probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it. You just take this, I'm not touching the paint, just using it like I would use my fingernail to pull. Well, this has been on here for 3 years, so it's probably gonna be a little harder to get off than normal. And my fingers already hurt, so shoot. Shoot, that's not good. I think this is the first time I've ever done this with a heat gun. A little bit smarter this way. So if I can get the bulk of it off, then I can use Tarex to get the rest. So I don't know why I've always been this way, but I just like cars without stickers and badges. You know, it started with my Civic, you know, debadging as much as possible. I wish I could take this off, but there's an indentation here. It's weird because I like wearing my Obsessed Garage shirts, but yet I like my cars to be debadged. It's kind of a little bit of an odd dynamic there, but whatever. I just do what I like. I think most owners of M cars don't really care about badges. I think it's more the owners that don't have M cars. They care more about the badges. I have those wheels, like the little, like Darren from Auto Fetish uses the little wheel thing. I don't know, I just never had really good success with them. I'm probably just not using it right. I feel like it heats up the panel like crazy. So now it'll be interesting to see if I can get the rear lip off without using any fishing line, because I really jacked up the 1M with fishing line, scratched the crap out of it. I don't want to do that on this one too, and have to fix that. Okay, now we can Tarex the rest of it. We've got rolls and rolls of shop rags from IND's shipments. If you've ever bought anything from IND, you'll know what I'm talking about. They always ship with tons of layers of wrapping. I think the main reason why I started debadging back in the day was I didn't like the dirt that got built up in there, and I didn't know how to get it out. So I just took the badges off, and then I just never put them back on, and started to really like that look. The look of not having any badges. So I'm not gouging here, I'm just gently letting my fingernail do the work to get the residue off here, and the Tarex is doing most of the work. So this is just a little bit of, like doing all this, it's a little bit of exterior prep, which will make my polishing easier in the long run because like I don't have grills in the way. But what we're going to do after we get this rear deck spoiler off, the rear trunk spoiler, I'm going to start taping, and that'll be the final step of, I guess, the prep work for polishing. So this usually takes 2 or 3 applications to get the M residue off of here, and then the polish, I'll compound this with a microfiber pad, and it'll get the remainder outline that's sort of etched in place here. Watch, I'll probably have to put a badge back on because this will be sun damaged or something. And everybody will be so excited that I wasn't able to remove the badge. There you go. The M5's off. Throw that in the trash. A little bit of eraser here just to get all this gunk off of here. I'm about to eraser the whole car because it was sitting out. Shoot. This is a really good place to PPF right here. Especially since this is Michelle's car. Okay. So let's see if we can get this. It's going to be better to get this off without fishing line if I can help it. Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll stay on the lip and not the trunk. This is the first time I've ever done this. I always have fishing line. You know, the plastic pry tools don't tend to do as well as the metal one does. But the risk of the metal one is, you know, I'm right here near the paint. I don't care if I ruin this because I'm going to throw it away anyway. But another thing that we can do, I can take a microfiber towel, now that I got it started, do this. Well, this is going to really jack up my towel. Yep. We should just fishing line this thing. I need a thinner towel if I'm going to do it that way. Ooh. Yeah. This is not the way to do it. Whoa, that's hot. All right, I'm going to go get some fishing line. All right, I'm back at it. It's a couple of days later. Let's see. I was out here Friday. Today's Sunday. So a little more pep in my step here today after hacking through this yesterday or Friday. So I got some fishing line. I want to try to not hit the leading edge here with the fishing line. Before, I've always just sawed through it. And depending on the car, you know, some cars it's not a big deal, but on a lot of the M cars there's a little lip here, and you end up hitting or grinding through the leading edge of this with your fishing line, which is bad. And then, you know, it scratches it deep enough that it's hard to get out. It just depends on the car, but not good to have it do that. Yeah, see, I'm gonna make sure that we keep this up against the lip. I'd rather scratch the lip that I broke than mess up the trunk, but even still, the fishing line is gonna hit this. This one's on here really good. At least it's not beta linked and it's just 3M taped, but man. So this is just Dren 10-pound test. I think probably 12-pound test would be a little bit better because this will break. That's why I keep cycling through. So yeah, I was sick as crap on Friday. So hopefully the second half of this video I have a little more pep in my step, a little less mistake prone. Just beat up. So, you know, I'm also kind of taking this M5 in stride. You know, I don't need this car. You know, Michelle has the truck to drive. So, it's not like I have to have this thing. Man, this thing is a pain in the butt. Even cutting through this is no good. You know, it will probably help a little bit. Tell you what, I use these darn plastic wedges from Sonic all the darn time. I didn't think I would use those tools, but it's a really useful set. This has been the most difficult rear deck spoiler I've ever had on a car. Well, I take that back. The GD350 has bolts. I ended up giving up. Decided not to remove it. I wanted to remove it to take the vinyl off. Finally. Let's see, we'll end up breaking the darn fishing line. So once I get this off and I get all this glue off, then I can start working on, I'll get the front emblem taken off. I already jacked up one of the mirror caps, taking that off, trying to figure out how that works. So I'll show you, hopefully, how to take the mirror cap off without messing it up. So the factory one I'm going to just have to throw away. So we're never going back. I tried using the microfiber towel trick, as you saw. This is definitely hitting that edge. That's the problem. This time I learned my lesson, though. I'm going to really polish it before putting the new BMW Performance spoiler on. I guess I never really mentioned that that's the plan. As I'm putting a new spoiler on this thing that'll look a little less grandpa-y. Kind of excited to see how this silver comes out. It already looks great being deconned. Can't imagine what it's going to look like when it's all done. I keep forgetting to keep it up here on your right, my left. My left hand, need to keep this one up against the lip. Oh, that's the thing I forgot. I need to order a new front emblem and center caps. My guess is this car is going to take me 2 weeks to get finished or longer, so you guys are going to have to be patient with me. And then I saw the new RS6 Avant, which seems to sound like crap, but it's very interesting to me. So maybe this will be in 12 months when all the hype and all the initial orders get filled and they can't sell the car again. Maybe we'll do an F10 M5 giveaway, OG spec giveaway, and get myself an RS6 for Michelle. Get Michelle an RS6. All right, I think we're good. Gosh, what a mess. So, you Sony lovers, I'm done with the Sony camera. Tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to order a C200. I was going to get the 1DX, but then Bryce... See, I had a C100 that I hated because it didn't have dual pixel autofocus. It didn't have autofocus at all. It just had a single push button autofocus, which was no good. So, I'm going to get a C200, ditch the Sonys. So the Sony A7 IIIs are going to be up for sale here shortly. Done. Gosh, now that's the easy part. Now comes the hard part. All right, so I got one of these things that I've never been able to figure out how to make work. Because it gets so hot. So maybe what I need to do, maybe it needs to be in reverse. I don't think so. So maybe if I heat it. So let's try this. Let's try this little section here. Let's heat it up. I'm probably just not using it right. I learned about these from Darren at Auto Fetish detailing channel. And he uses it all the time. But I could never get it to work. I feel like I'm about to blow through the hole through the paint. Okay, that's heated up. Do it this way. Yeah, see, I don't like that at all. It's supposed to like grab itself. Let me try the bigger. Yeah, see, I just don't like that, man. It's gonna blow right through the darn paint. So it definitely pulls this stuff off, but I don't know. See, it just grabs it and bunches it up. I don't even know if I need to go slower or faster or reverse or what. Well, that's no good. Definitely not reverse. Let's just pull it right off the wheel. You can see, like, I wonder if it's okay. There's just no way that's good on the paint. So maybe somebody can teach me what I'm doing wrong here, because I don't like that. So that means good old finger's about to get ruined. This is gonna take an hour. I wonder if putting gloves on will help. See, I just don't see how that thing, it's just gonna heat up like crazy, but I've seen, people use it, and I'm clearly doing something wrong. So I'm gonna go back to my finger and Tarex method. Man, I can't tell you how much fun I've had the last few days. I've been sick, so I've been laying on the couch. But one of my favorite things to do in this universe is to sit on the couch and dig and dig and dig for something new that I'm interested in. So I've done it with a mountain bike here recently, and then I've also done it with a camera. So the thing I don't like about this Sony is I know people are always commenting on how good it looks. It's just the colors are just so bad. And we've been playing when Bryce has been beating his head against the wall, because I've been yelling at him the whole time about just the color is just off. Skin tones look terrible. It's just, I just don't like it. I don't like the menus. I don't like anything about it. I don't like this goofy crap about when it turns off, and there's all this weird crap about these stupid mirrorless cameras. You can't handhold them at all, even if you're steady, because they jump around. It's just, we're making so many excuses for these stupid mirrorless cameras. I'm out. So I'm going back to a Canon. And so what I was gonna do was do a Canon 1DX, which is ancient technology. But it just, I don't know, it just makes more sense to me. The color accuracy is better. I can use better lenses. Everything about it's just better, with the exception of it's bigger and heavier. But I've got this darn Sony with all this gear on top of it. It's all top heavy. I can't put it in my car because it falls over. I just hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it. And so I'm going back to Canon. So I was gonna get a 1DX and then get a 6D or a 5D for the gimbal. So 1DX for the tripod. I've got a new tripod coming too, and I'll probably make a video about this, because I don't know, there's always camera dudes on YouTube, but they don't give me the information that I want. Like the old just tell me what to buy thing. This is gonna suck. I just cut my fingernails today too. All right, here we go. Tarex it is. Make a Tarex mess. Get this thing lubed up. Get this to start eating through it. I was telling Michelle, I'm like, I don't know how to explain this, but one of my happiest places to be is when I have a problem to solve, something that I'm interested in, and I'm just going to chase it infinitely. Chase and chase and chase until at some point, and I never chase it quite far enough to where I get it right. So I very rarely ever get it right the first time. But at some point, because I'm doing this all virtually, at some point I have to take a leap. I have to buy it. So every single product you see in the store, everything I'm using, everything that I've chosen, I've done this exhaustive but yet satisfying, super fun process of digging into all of the potential details. Digging and digging and digging and looking at specs and reading descriptions, and generally, reviews don't help me at all. Like, what does somebody else think? I don't even read reviews. What I'm looking for is not a review, but use. How are they using it? What other potential accessories do I need? And so with the camera, it's tripod, it's the viewfinder. What type of external monitor am I going to use? How is that going to work? What is that going to look like? How am I going to set it up? What other ancillary parts and pieces do I need? And so I don't know how many hours I'm in, but I'm sitting on the couch, sick as crap, just digging, and yet super satisfied with the digging part. It's just so much fun. I'm going to be doing a Canon C200 with the full accessory kit because I want the Canon monitor. And what I figured out, I was going to buy the C200B, which is just the body. But what I figured out, because I probably don't want the Canon handle, I don't want like the shock mount for a boom mic, because we never use a boom mic or a shotgun mic. But I do want the monitor, and if the monitor, buying the proprietary cable, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to use the Canon handle or get my own handle. So I bought a couple of handles and a top plate, I'm probably going to buy it today after talking about this here. And then I'll be selling the Sony. So I won't be too far in the hole. The Sony experiment was worthwhile to know that I don't want Sony. And so I'm sure I'll end up coming back to it when they come out with a new Sony, whatever. But the Sony camera is just, I know people want to love them. Good luck. Have fun with it. I just hate it. Hate everything about it. Hate the menus. I hate the operation. I hate the ergonomics. I just don't like it. Hate is a strong word, but it's just not good. But what I've come to realize over the years is that other people don't do this. I mean, some of you may that watch the videos here, but the vast majority of people aren't interested in things like the way I'm interested in them. And so that's part of the reason why this store exists, is because of this body of obsessiveness. Like, I can't explain to you how, like, I can't function like when I'm thinking about the camera. Like, it's in my every thought, my entire existence. If I'm at the dinner table, I'm out here doing this, I'm thinking about what camera I'm gonna get. And then eventually it goes away. Sometimes I don't actually buy it. Sometimes I don't give in, and I don't ever buy the camera or the mountain bike. So sometimes I dig deep and then I lose interest. But most of the time I screw up and go too far and buy it, and then eventually end up throwing it away, giving it away, selling it at a discount, which is a negative byproduct that many of you can't get over. But it doesn't bother me at all. It used to bother Michelle a lot. Oh man, this is gonna suck. I might just do a little bit of this each day. Maybe I should heat this up too. So I guess I'm gonna adjourn on this part, come back to you in a little bit, or a lot of it, as I get this off. And then we'll work on the mirror caps, pull the front emblem off, and then actually get to the point of this video, which is taping. All right, we're almost there. My thumbnail gave up. So I've been using this little plastic sonic tool. I think it probably about an hour, maybe 45 minutes in. So yeah, this pretty much sucks, but we're almost home stretch. Last little section here. So what I do is just kind of work my way through it, grab a bunch of it, throw it away, and then re-spray, and then just gently scrub. This is probably a little bit softer than my fingernail. I'm going to polish this anyway, and most of this will be hidden with the new lip, but what a pain in the butt. Heat doesn't really help this very much. It only helps if you, like this, the factory, whatever adhesive promoter they put on this, really sticks. Like if I put an aftermarket version of this lip on with the 3M tape, I find it doesn't stick as much as this does. There we go. That's a darn good feeling to get that done. Okay, so let me get a microfiber. So I kind of want to hose this down here with some eraser. Get it off of the rear section here. Then I'm going to clay that, make sure I got all the adhesive off. Prepare it for polishing. Just a little piece of clay just to get this. Make sure I grab any extra adhesive off of here. Also get the dirt, little embedded dirt, whatever little embedded dirt's left there, we'll get removed with polishing. Let's get the surrounding area and we're good. Okay, that's done. So let's go remove the mirror cap. First, let me hold up the spoiler and show you what this is going to look like. Gosh, this car is going to completely transform. Maybe not so much on camera, but in person, it's going to. Oh, the taillights are really scratched up. That means that that's probably what the paint looks like. It's just so hard to see because this darn paint. This paint is so silver. You know, it's just impossible to see. So here's what a new one looks like. That's going to look a little bit better. That looks way cooler. So I got to go get some tape because I used all the tape on the 1M lip spoiler. Well, that looks darn good. So that's what's going in place. All right, let's pull this badge, this emblem off. It's just kind of stained and beat up. So I'm going to pull it off, get a new one. It's only a few bucks. Gosh, I can't wait to get rid of this retainer and not have a lisp anymore. I checked when I pulled the front bumper, there shouldn't be any posts on this. Yeah, well, I guess there are. They're just in reverse. Great, more tape to worry about. I can't win. This one I might be able to heat up and just, here we go again. This will be a good place to practice on, if I can get it in there. I think it depends on the type. Oh shoot. See, that's what I'm talking about. The sucker went right through the paint. So while it pulled that off, it went right through. You'd have to be extremely careful, which I'm clearly not. So I'll stick to my Tarex and fingernail method. As soon as that edge touched that, blew right through the paint, all the way down to base, all the way down to the plastic. Anyway, this is prep to just pop a brand new emblem on. So I gotta order that. Might have IND. IND makes one where they paint this black, where this black chrome is not there. So I might have them do that. Good thing I didn't clean my hands up really well from the back bumper. So after I pull that other mirror cap off, I think that's all I need to do to then start taping. If I remove all of this, this will also make polishing a little easier because I've got all this stuff out of the way. The grills, the gills. There really isn't much that needs to be taped on the car now. The worst scratch is right here in the most visible area, which I'm almost certainly not going to be able to remove completely, but we'll probably be able to clean it up quite a bit. Gosh, what a pain in the butt, man. It's a good place to blow through the clear. Not the clear, but the whole darn paint underneath the emblem on the plastic bumper. Actually, what I should do, I'm going to wipe the whole car down with the eraser because it sat outside for a couple of days and been sitting in the garage here, getting all dusty. So I'm going to wipe the whole car down and then we'll start taping. But first, let's go pull that mirror cap off. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at this just to remind myself how this goes. The mirror cap goes like this. So in order to get it off, this side has to push in and this side has to push up. So what I did was turn, so if I turn this way, I can pull up to pop that and pull out. So that's what we're gonna do. Look how good that looks though. Toughens up the exterior quite a bit. I'm not putting this on until later. Okay, so if I pop this up, I pull this out. It's pretty much guaranteed to break. Yep, there we go. Let's see. So this time I didn't break those. Good, 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 good. I didn't break those. Which piece did I break? Oh, I think I broke this one on the bottom. That's all right. They're going in the trash anyway. All right, mirror cap's off. Let's blow this out and clean it up. Let's kind of clean this out a little bit. I'm gonna go fill up my eraser bottle. Probably shouldn't be hosing down this inside of here. Okay, so I'll leave that off so I can get this lip all polished, and then I'll probably put them back on and do a finishing polish with them. Okay, so let's, I'm gonna blow off the car with the Put the air thing, and then we'll start taping. And then we'll save polishing for tomorrow. Dang, this car's so much bigger and wider than the other M cars. You know what, actually, I'm gonna wipe with the eraser down as I do each section. So that'll be a smarter thing to do. All right, so let's get to taping. So I'm gonna use 3 different sizes. I got 4 here. So I got 1/4 inch, if I need it, which I probably won't on this car, 1 inch and 2 inch. And this is a tape called 3M Precision, which is a Japanese made, or Japanese sources made in Japan, but it's I don't know, I find this to be the best type of masking tape for polishing. I feel like, you know, it's semi-transparent. You can kind of sort of see through it, and it doesn't. It's not as gummy on the back side, so on the non-adhesive side. So I find that this doesn't tend to grab as much residue as maybe a regular tape might. So let's see, what do I even want to tape here? I think I should tape this rubber. I want to tape the rubber. The windshield doesn't really need taped. This area here will when I polish. I'm not worried about this chrome. I'm gonna have to polish all of this. You know, I might not even tape this. Yeah, the windows need to be polished. Yeah, there's not much that needs to be taped on this car. Definitely this up here though. It depends on if I do the glass or the paint first. Because this will leave, this rubber will leave some gunk all over my pads. But I do want to polish the glass. And I'm probably just going to polish the glass with the normal compound. Now, this tape isn't particularly pliable, so it doesn't, you know, it's not rubber, it's rubberized tape, so it's not going to carry a contour away. By pulling, it won't stretch. Gosh, I can't say S's or STs. Yeah, there really isn't much to tape on this. I can tape the headlights. Always tape the headlights. Okay. This channel should be okay. I don't think I'll get anything in there, so it should be all right there. I'm really gonna have to do some work to the rubber. I'm probably gonna treat the rubber and trim on this car before I coat it. That's what I'll do. So we'll take care of all the rubber and stuff right before coating, because I don't want to be messing up with my because a lot of times I'll coat the car and then do the trim. But I'm going to prep all the trim. This trim needs to be cleaned up a little bit more than normal because it's never been cared for. Don't need to tape anything here. I'm going to polish all of this. This is all good. Yeah, I mean, this rubber is recessed enough that I'm not going to damage it. I think I should probably tape this. I don't know how well this tape is going to hold up on here. Yeah, this is kind of hard to tape. Yeah, we're just going to wing it and we'll clean that up after the fact with our number 39 from Meguiar's. I wonder if I can replace this. Looks like they just pop off. I don't see any tabs or anything on here. I want to replace this piece because this one has a dimple right there. Yeah, not much to tape on this. When you take all the trim off, not much to worry about. I'm telling you though, if you hit your headlights with compound, that clear coat's going to fail, or that UV coat's going to fail fast, and they're going to yellow quicker. So I know I'm always harping on this, but I'm telling you, you don't want that to happen. So just tape the thing. These headlights are beat up, man. I want new ones. I bet you these headlights are expensive. This car's probably done a lot of highway driving. You're gonna be really disappointed in the polishing portion of this video. If you're looking for big A/B results, although in person it's gonna look significantly different, on camera you aren't gonna see much. So this video turned out to be a lot longer than I was anticipating, of all the parts and pieces, the removal, trim removal, as well as taping or polishing prep. The only step that will show more in the polishing section that I was planning on doing here, which will be the wipe down of each panel before polishing, instead of wiping the whole car down, because we get quite a bit of box dust here. And just to be safe, I'm gonna run another layer of tape across here. Just tape the whole darn thing. Keep from messing it up. There's the headlight. All right, I'm gonna keep taping. I'll come back to you in a minute. All right, that's pretty much it. I just taped the little grills down here. I decided to do that. Tape this, and then we taped the other part on top. Let me lower the car. Well, that's pretty much it from the taping front. This is an easy car from a taping perspective. Not a ton of trim I need to mess with. So I'm taping this little section here next to the windshield. She's gonna need some serious love with crystal serum light and some good deep cleaning. I'll probably raise the wipers up when I get to this point and finish this, but yeah, this is an easy car to tape. Not a lot of trim to worry about. So I didn't need any 1/4 inch. The 1/4 inch is good to have a roll of it, but you'll use probably 1 inch more than anything else, depending on the car that you have. But I know I always have, I probably go through 4 rolls of 1 inch to every roll of 2 inch and 1/4 inch that I use. But I'm telling you, this tape is magical. You can get it in my store at a reasonable price. I chased this stuff for a while. I used to use Scotch 233 Plus, which is like the body shop tape. This stuff is so much better. So yeah, that's taping. We'll wrap up episode 3 here, which turned out to be a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Episode 4 will be test spot and figuring out what polishing we're going to do. I'm going to have to turn the lights off and really get the scan grip stuff out. We'll talk a little bit about what scan grip lights I have and which ones I use and why. But anyway, thanks for watching this episode. Thanks for the support. You know, helps me when you buy this stuff from me. Helps me to be able to continue to do this. So go to obsessedgarage.com to get 3M Precision tape and all the other stuff we're going to use in this series. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next episode. As always, stay tuned for more crazy.